All right, let's appreciate now on secondary storage. Yeah, as you mentioned before, when talking about secondary storage, we're talking about memory or storage that is not directly connected to the CPU. Yeah, connected to the CPU. Right, and we mentioned the part again that this is massive storage. Yeah, this is massive permanent storage. We might need actually to bring that point again. Massive permanent storage. Right? So, by definition, not directly connected to the CPU. So, if the CPU is over here, and maybe we have the primary memory over here, primary memory. When you want to talk about the part of secondary memory now, it's going to be situated somewhere not in the secondary memory, in the not anywhere close to the CPU in as far as connection is concerned, but connected now with the. This is secondary storage. It's gonna be coming through now to be something that is not directly connected to the CPU. That's what you have. Yeah, that's basically what we can actually talk about as far as the connection is concerned. Yeah, so this is my computer right there. So the areas of concern now as far as this is concerned are this. The secondary storage is not directly connected to the CPU, right? And we then went on to give a couple of examples that the secondary storage can either be, we can talk about SSDs, solid state drives, or we can talk about now hard disk drives. These are going to be the examples. Of course, there is another hybrid of these, which is the solid state hard drive. It's a hybrid, a combination of what? Of both worlds. But I'm just going to be I'm not going to be explaining about that simply because it's just a hybrid of these. If I explain this and explain this, you now already have a picture of how that is going to be coming through to be like. Yeah. So let's move on a step further now and start to talk and appreciate. Maybe let's see how these two guys are going to be looking like. That's basically how the SSD, the HDD looks like in its interior. Then this is how the SSD is going to be looking like. You can even go on the net and actually see a couple of other differences. In any given scenario, you will see that the SSD is going to be coming through to be a little bit smaller in size, right, in physical size as compared to what? As compared to the hard drive, right? And an SSD actually has a literal metal disk here that actually has to be moving. We have an actuator here which causes this actuator arm to be moving. The read write head where I'm going to be when we are writing on the disk, this is going to be moving. But if you see it on the SSD, there's nothing that's going to be moving here. Information is going to be stored now in these NAND flash memory chips. Yeah. So when you start to appreciate about the difference between these two guys, the first thing that I'm going to be appreciating that I already saw is the part that this is less heavy as compared to this. So this is small in physical size, right? It's smaller or portable, right? We're talking about as far as size is concerned, physical size, yeah? So this one now is not as portable. This is bigger, right? This is bigger than what? This is bigger than an SSD as far as in the physical size is concerned. SSD as far as the physical size is concerned. I hope that makes sense. And you see again that SSDs now, they do not have moving parts inside them, right? They have no moving parts inside them at all. But it's different now with the part on what? On hard disk drive. What's hard disk drive? You saw that there's a disk inside, there is the actuator arm, so it has moving parts. Right, so this one has got moving parts inside it. That's another difference, right? And with that now, this is more things that can break as compared to this. So this one will be coming through to be more durable now. Why? Because even it can withstand shock. When you drop an SSD, we are likely not going to be facing anything that's. If you drop an SSD probably on a surface, it's likely not going to be hurt as compared to how the HDD is going to be hurt, because this has got moving parts which are likely going to be causing some problems inside them. You get the point? So this is more durable. compared, right? We are comparing these two compared to HDDs. So this is less durable now. It's less durable compared to these guys now, to SSDs, right? Another point to note now is that these now, they are still at the point of this video recording. HDDs have now more space. You get the point? They come through with more space now. They have more storage space. More storage space as compared to these guys now. This one now is their storage space now is lesser as compared to what? To the one of HDD. To HDD, I mean to say. You get the point? Storage space. Okay, they have smaller storage space. Storage space comparatively. Are we together? And the next point that's going to be coming through to be of significance is the part that when we are reading and writing to an SSD, it's faster. You get the point? There's faster writing to it, faster read-write operations. You get the point? Read-write operations. And compared in comparison now, this is in comparison with what the HDD is to do. The HDD now is got slower now. It's slower. It's got slower read write time. So it's slower read or write operations. So when I want to write operations, come on. When I want to write to an SSD now, to an HDD, it's going to be slower as compared when I'm writing to a solid state drive. Even when I'm reading information from an SSD, it's faster than when I'm reading from an HDD. You get the point? All these advantages, they come up on a cost now. So this at the point of recording, of course, the SSDs are quite expensive, right? Quite expensive per gigabyte. Quite expensive per gigabyte. As compared to these guys. These are quite cheaper now. So we're just comparing these two guys. They are cheaper. At the time of recording, they are quite cheaper per gigabyte. You get the point? So that's basically what we have as far as these guys are concerned. You see that the SSD does not have any moving parts, which means it does not produce any noise. So it produces no noise when we're actually writing or reading from it. But this now is now going to be a little bit noisy. You get the point? It's going to be a little bit noisy when we're actually going to be recording to it, because we are going to be hearing the sound of the rotating disc inside. You see again that this uses less power because there are no moving parts, so it uses less power. But this one now, it uses more power. You get the point? It consumes more energy, consumes more power, right? So in any given point in time, you will see now that when you are now running probably, or when you are dealing with the part, when you want to go and buy a computer, you might need to pay attention again. Is it an SSD or is it an HDD? So you gotta ask now, does the machine use an SSD or an HDD? For my sake, I would prefer to be using an SSD at any given point in time than using an HDD. Why? Because this dude is going to be coming through with only one advantage, that the dude is got more storage space as compared to this guy. But rather, I would still need something that is portable. I would need something that does not have moving parts, something that is durable, something that is fast when I'm writing to it or reading from it, something that is going to be coming through to produce no noise, that uses less power. Again, this is going to be coming through with an advantage that it actually has, it's cheap, but the cost is actually, it also always comes with a cost. So all these now, advantages that I mentioned here are some of the advantages that I would go for going the part of the space and even the part of the cost, right? So at any given point in time, just know that SSDs are going to be coming through to be better in most cases as compared to hard disk drives. So always know the picture. This is how they look like. As this disk rotates, that's where the information is going to be stored. The information here is going to be stored on fixed memory locations. That's basically what we have as far as secondary storage is concerned. And I hope and pray that you have mastered this and you were able to jot down some summary notes. You were able to do the part again of drawing the diagrams the way that I was drawing them. Then you're going to be writing the full notes that I'm about to send in the exercise that is touching base for this. Yeah, if you have any question, you can still touch base.